On a quiet morning in Siberia, the sky tore itself apart. June 30th, 1908. The world was still, the taiga stretching endlessly under the pale dawn. And then, without warning, a fireball appeared in the sky. It streaked across the heavens like a second sun, leaving a trail of blue-white flame. For hundreds of kilometers, people stopped and stared, their eyes burning from the glare. A moment later, the air itself ignited. A thunderclap, so violent, so immense, shattered the calm. Windows exploded. Horses were thrown to the ground. Even 200 kilometers away, people felt the heat of the blast. And in that instant, over the desolate forests of Tunguska, the earth trembled. When the dust settled, 80 million trees lay flattened across 2,000 square kilometers. At the epicenter, the forest was scorched to ash, a vast circle of devastation. And at its heart, nothing. No crater, no meteorite, no trace of what had fallen from the sky. What kind of power could do this? And what could vanish so completely, leaving only silence behind? For almost 20 years, the Tunguska wilderness remained untouched. Few dared to travel there, too remote, too harsh, too full of ghosts. Then in 1927, a man named Leonid Kulik led an expedition deep into the Siberian wilderness. He had read the stories. He had seen the seismic records. He believed a meteor had struck the earth, and he was determined to find its remains. The journey was brutal. Weeks of swamps, mosquitoes, frozen rivers, and endless trees. But when Kulik finally arrived, what he saw defied all logic. For miles, the forest lay radiating outward, as if the hand of some vast god had pressed the land flat. And at the center, no crater. Just a ring of blackened soil and trees stripped bare, standing upright like silent witnesses to an unseen inferno. Kulik expected to dig into the earth and find iron or stone, the bones of a meteor. Instead, he found nothing. No metal, no fragments, just emptiness. The mystery deepened. Scientists tried to explain it. Some said it was a meteor, exploding in midair before it struck the ground. Others said it was a comet, made of ice and dust, vaporizing completely as it burned through the atmosphere. But as the years passed, stranger theories emerged. Some whispered Avelyon's a crashed spacecraft, obliterated before it could land. Others spoke of Nikola Tesla, who, at the time, was experimenting with wireless energy. Could he have accidentally unleashed a bolt of power from across the world? And there were even those who claimed that a tiny black hole had passed through the Earth, itself entering in Siberia and exiting somewhere in the Atlantic. The truth, it seemed, was lost in the smoke. For decades, the mystery lingered, a scar in the heart of Siberia and a question mark in the history of the planet. But then, as the century turned, science caught up with imagination. New satellite data, high-resolution maps, and powerful computer simulations revealed what the early explorers could not see. The culprit was likely an asteroid, roughly 50 meters wide, a chunk of cosmic rock traveling faster than a bullet, entering Earth's atmosphere at more than 27,000 kilometers per hour. As it plunged through the sky, the pressure and heat became unbearable. The rock disintegrated not on the ground, but high above it, 5 to 10 kilometers in the air. The explosion released as much energy as 15 megatons of TNT, 1,000 times the power of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The shockwave flattened the forest below, ignited the treetops, and sent ripples through the air that circled the Earth twice. And because it exploded in the sky, there was no crater on the scars of the blast and the silence that followed. But the story doesn't end in 1908. A century later, in 2013, another fireball streaked across the Russian sky, this time over the city of Chelyabinsk. It exploded in the atmosphere, shattering windows and injuring over 1,000 people. It was smaller, yes, but eerily similar to Tunguska, warning perhaps of how fragile our world really is. For the people of Siberia, the land eventually healed. The trees grew back. The forest reclaimed its silence. But even now, deep within that wilderness, the soil remembers. Scientists still find traces of melted minerals, tiny glassy spheres that once burned at thousands of degrees. The Earth itself holds the memory of that impossible morning. More than a century has passed, yet Tunguska remains a symbol of nature's power, of humanity's smallness, and of the thin, fragile veil that separates our world from the chaos of the cosmos. Every night as we look up at the stars, we're staring into the same void from which that fireball came. And somewhere out there, countless others are still on their way. So remember this. In 1908, the sky fell over Siberia, and the Earth survived by sheer luck. So the next time we might not be so fortunate. The Tunguska explosion, a mystery not of the past, but of the future that still waits above us. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the unknown as fascinating as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that challenge what we think we know. Until next time, keep looking up.